Hi guys, Uncle Jesse here. I guess everybody's heard about the assassination attempt on President Trump. Well, that was a close one. Um, Now look guys, I am not a conservative Republican, although I have conservative tendencies, and I am not a liberal Democrat, although some of my thinking could be liberal. Anyway, I do not affiliate with any party, and I also think it's a sad day for the U.S. that some 20-year-old young person would take it upon himself and do what he did. Now, we don't have all the details, but it's a sad day for America, and it's just sad all around. People shouldn't act like that. It's like, you know, people calling for violence against Trump, people calling for violence against Biden's team, people calling for violence against each other on YouTube. I mean, I've had it done to me where a certain Miguel had called for street violence on me from his buddies here in the Philippines, and you know, that's just uncalled for. I have told him, hey, you want to duke it out, let's duke it out, which, you know, in the heat of the moment I said that, which I'm too old to duke it out with anybody, but you know, you never know. Don't overestimate or underestimate the old man, because I've seen a few videos where a couple of 80-year-olds was literally knocking down 20-year-olds trying to rob them and beating them up. So that being said, it's a sad day for America, and I just wanted to say that. And y'all go over to Zia's channel and subscribe. She's getting close to 1,000 subscribers. She already has the watch hours. And also, if you'd like to donate to just buy us a coffee. We both have a coffee account, so check that out. Just buy us a coffee. All of the proceeds I get on my channel goes to Zia, and she does what she wants. Now, as you see, I'm in the apartment we're building, and we're back at home in Tarlac. So, after the introduction, I'll tell you the rest.
Welcome to Uncle Jesse's Philippines Adventure. Like, share, subscribe, and click the bell, please. Thank you. I love you. I love you. We need money.
All right, now, where was I? Y'all go over to Zia's channel and subscribe. It don't cost anything to subscribe to her channel. It's free. And if you enjoy cooking, which I do, I watch a lot of cooking channels, and that's one reason I married Zia, was because she was quite the little cook, and quite the looker too. And anyway, what was I saying? Oh, let's all try to be good to one another out there, and stop all this bickering back and forth. If you don't want America to be great, just get the hell out, you know. I had problems where I was living, and I'm going to tell you the truth, a bunch of fucking libtards didn't like what I was saying around, didn't like my opinion, and they took it upon themselves to give me total hell. So what I did was I give everything away, and basically give it all away, sold a couple of vehicles, and got the hell out of Dodge. Now I was going to move to my property in Colorado, which is in the San Luis Valley and Castillo County. I have 10 acres there, but something just, they changed the rules and all of this, and I was told I couldn't even park my camper, my pull-behind camper trailer, which I had a great big pull-behind camper trailer. I was told I couldn't even park my camper trailer on my 10 acres of land in Castillo County in San Luis Valley in the middle of no damn where. No access to water, no access to electricity. And I'm like, well, if I want to camp out, what do I do? And they said, well, you'll have to rent a yurt. You can't park your camper there. And I was like, when did all the laws change? And the John is his name. I can't remember his title, but he's a government official in Castillo County, and he basically told me, oh, we changed all the rules here. You got to build a house within 6 months. You got to have electricity put to the house and city water put to the house, which is virtually impossible. I called an electrical company, and it would cost $6 million to get electrical line run out in the middle of nowhere, and I didn't even bother calling the water company. Anyway, can't drill your own well anymore. They don't like that. And I called him back. I was like, John, what the hell? I could have built, before when I bought the property, I could have built a yurt house. I mean, not a yurt house, but a dirt bag house. What they call a spaceship house or whatever. I could have built anything here when I bought the property. That was one of the reasons I bought the property, because there was no regulations. And he said, well, we had a bunch of poor people move in and throw up shacks and shanties across the valley, and we got together and decided we didn't like that, and we wanted to keep the riffraff out. And so, in other words, the rich people in Castillo County got together, which are a bunch of damn libtards, got together and decided they didn't want no poor people moving in Castillo County. So they come up with all these regulations. So you got to be rich as 3 foot up that cows, out there as mahonkas, to even move there and live there. So I've got 10 acres of land that you really can't do a damn thing with, because it's in the middle of nowhere. It's like a desert where only tumbleweeds grow, and it's a sand bed, and yeah, it's a long story. Who gives a shit? I decided to move to the Philippines. But anyway, the reason we're back in Tarlac is which I thought was a friend of mine, James. He was a subscriber to our channel, and so he contacted me, and we talked a little bit, and I don't know if we're still friends on Facebook, but he sent me a friend request, and I accepted it. And he informed me that the house that was kind of next door to him's a couple of what we call them shacks, huts, bamboo shack, bamboo hut, whatever you want to call it. It's bamboo with a tin roof, wooden huts. And which I'm not talking down about not talking down about poor Filipinos. Hell, I was raised in a hut. I wasn't really raised in a hut, but when my parents, before my parents built the house that I was raised in, that I give my daughter, they lived in a shack. It was right before I was born. But anyway, I grew up poor in the South, and when I went and visited my cousins in the country, they didn't have electricity. Some of them didn't have running water. They were using outhouses. They were living in houses that was well over 100 years old, 150 years old. We had a farmhouse in Plains, Georgia, right next to Jimmy Carter's property. Our property went to Jimmy Carter's property. And this house was 150, 200 years old. It had 1920s, 1930s bathrooms with running water that they had turned walk-in closets into bathrooms. It was like a 6, 8, or 10 bedroom house. I mean, it was huge. And that was our farmhouse. And plus, we had the house that I had give my daughter. You know, my parents still own that house. And they also owned a house in the city of Albany, which I lived during junior high school. And we lived there 4 years, which I didn't like it much. But they had sold that house, and they also sold the farmhouse. But anyway, where was I at? So he said, oh, it's quiet, they said. It's peaceful, they said. My ass, I said. Anyway, the rent was only 2,500 pesos a month, which is, I don't know, $43, $44 a month US. And had a decent little kitchen, needed painting, you know, needed the ceilings put in, needed the bedroom we stayed in for a month finished. I was going to put aircon in it. The landlady's really sweet. I'm not going to call her name, but she is such a sweetheart. Her and her husband, and her mother is precious. We're going to have to go by and visit them sometimes and go fishing at the river, which I never got a chance to go fishing. But when we first moved in, and we moved in there because Zia's brother had moved in here, I thought his family was going to move in. And I figured, you know, it's getting crowded around here, and, you know, this is not our house. This apartment's mine and Zia's, but it's not, you know, livable at the moment. We don't have windows and doors, but the main house has windows and doors and everything, and tile bathroom and all that, and that's what we use. We were staying in one of the bedrooms. It's a 3-bedroom house, and excuse me a minute. That's why I don't make videos for kids. Anyway, I thought his wife and 2 little girls were going to move in, and I told Zia, you know, it's getting a little crowded around here. We haven't had much of any privacy in the last couple of years. Let's move over here and check this neighborhood out. Rent this house is cheap. We can save up a little bit of money and do YouTube videos around till you get established. I can paint and fix up the kitchen there real nice. Already had real nice tile floors. I said, I can paint this up real pretty, which it looked good. It's solid white. It's beautiful little kitchen. You finish out the roof and, you know, the false ceiling I'm talking about. And it would have been a very nice little house if it was just finished. A lot of Filipino houses aren't finished. As a matter of fact, the block house I was raised in, it never got finished till I was 17 years old, and they started that house in '53, I believe. So anyway, poor folks build a little bit at a time, and hopefully you get finished with your house before you die. But that's the way you do it. That's the way we did it. But American regulations has got so bullshittery that poor people can't live anymore. Poor people can't have anything, and poor people can't build anything because of the bullshit regulations that goes on. But that's another story for on down another line. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So we moved into the house. For the first week or so, everything went great. And I went to do a video, and the neighbor was playing loud music. And I simply walked to the back gate. He was standing out there. They were standing around talking, playing loud music. And I had already set up my camera in the yard and our stand. And however tall that stand is, hell, it's tall as Zia or taller. And I set it up, and I was fixing to do a video about the house and the land. And they turned the music on and go to talking loud. Well, you can't have that on YouTube. It's copyright strike. So I turned around and walked over to the gate, and I said, "Sir, I'm trying to do a video, and I explained the situation about YouTube and the music, and he was like, sure, no problem. So he turned it off. I did the video, maybe took 10-15 minutes at the most. I went back over there, thanked him again, told him how much I really appreciated it, and that was that. They turned the music back on and went to doing what they were doing. Okay, well, that was good and fine. That didn't bother me. I went in the house. I really couldn't hear his music. Well, a couple of days later, the junk man come by. I was out in the yard raking up. I was burning some old pile of stuff that the elderly owner had piled up everywhere, sticks and limbs and stuff. So I was burning that up, cleaning up around the buildings, and there was an old junk fan out there and an old junk water cooler that had come out of the house, and me and Zia had some metal cans and some plastic bottles, recyclables that we had collected up and put in a box, cleaning up and stuff that we had from cooking. But anyway, the junk guy come by and he said, you got any cans, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, sure, I got a whole box of cans and stuff here that you can have. And there was a couple of cook pots, old aluminum metal cook pots in there. The handles were broke off of. There was 3 of them. So I handed him that box over the fence, and a couple of ladies run up and said, oh, we want the pots. I said, yeah, whatever, you can have them. And so he said, you got anything else? And he looked over at the old junky water cooler sitting under the barn there where I parked my motorcycle. And I turned around and looked at it, and I was like, you talking about the tore up water cooler? I don't think it works. It might work. I don't think it works. I plugged it in. The back never did get hot. Being an HVAC technician, I knew you can't get parts for this shit. Hell, the damn thing didn't cost but $20 to begin with. I can buy a brand new one for $20 on Lazada or Shopee or whatever. Anyway, there was an old junky fan laying there. Get the fan for $10. The same exact fan that hangs on the wall, just a damn fan. And so I opened up the gate and he pulled in, and I told him, I said, yeah, you can have the water cooler. Here, take this damn junky fan I'm trying to clean up. So he put the stuff on his cart. And by this time, there was a crowd of people out in the road watching every move we made. And he turned around and seen that crowd of people, and I guess to save face or whatever you want to call it, he shoved a 100 peso bill at me, which is equivalent a little less than $2. And I was like, no. I did my hand like this too. No. You take the stuff. And he shook his head like, and shoved it at me again. And I realized that, whatever. You take it for what you want. I took the 100 pesos and shoved it in my pocket, shook his hand, he said thank you, and got on his bike and rode away, and I shut the gate. Well, later on that afternoon, now before we had moved in, James had told us that they like a lot of chismus around there, and which is gossip, blah blah blah. Let's talk bad about these folks all over the place. So I was like, I ain't worried about none of that shit. I don't talk to nobody. I don't deal, I don't speak the language much. I know a few words. That's about as far as I go. If they want to talk to me, they need to talk in English, which I doubt any of them spoke much English because we was way out in the province. But he said, don't worry about the gossip. Don't worry about the chismus, as they call it here. Let's go about your business. So, I didn't worry about it. But the landlady's sister-in-law, I believe she's a sister-in-law, I'm not real sure. She come over with James's wife. I had told James had texted me and said, oh, the landlady hears, because the landlady had surgery right during this time, right after we moved in. She had some surgical procedure on her stomach. I don't know, woman thing, I don't know. None of my business. Anyway, she was at home in the bed, couldn't get out. Well, James texted me and informed me that the landlady was upset because the chismis around the neighborhood, the gossip was I was selling all her furniture and stuff out of the house. Which there wasn't a whole lot of furniture in there. There's 3 cabinets we moved out, and an old table and chairs and stuff, and that was it. Anyway, there was a nice little TV cabinet in there with an old TV from the 80s or 90s on it, which still worked. That wasn't no big deal. We didn't watch TV anyway. I'm shaking the table in the camera, sorry. But anyway, he texted me and said she was worried I was selling the stuff, and I was like, what? No, dude. I give the junk guy some junk, and he basically forced me to take a 100 peso bill, which I did to save his face in front of the crowd of people that was out there. And which I didn't explain that to James. There's no need to. I don't care for gossip. It ain't really nobody's business what the fuck I was doing, because I rented the property and I considered, it's my business. If the landlady needed to talk to me, she could come over and talk to me face to face, in person. And so I told James, I said, as a matter of fact, they moved these cabinets out here under the garage. I said, later on, we plan on buying a car, and let's move this over into the other house that's unfinished in front of him, behind us at the gate, by the gate. Y'all seen it, look at the video. The unfinished house. And let's move this out of the garage or lean-to or whatever the hell you want to call it, barn. I said, let's move them out of there because it rained the other day, and I noticed the rain was blowing in on them. And so James came over and we moved the 3 big cabinet, dresser drawers, chest of drawers, whatever you want to call them, over into the other building. And I explained to him, look, I give the guy the old junky water cooler and the fan, and if it's a big deal, I'll just buy the landlord a new fan and stuff. And he was like, it ain't no big deal. She probably ain't even worried about it anyway. It's just a chismis going around the neighborhood. Don't worry about it. Well, about that time, the sister-in-law and James's wife showed up. James's wife had an angry look on her face, and their sister-in-law went to basically bitching at me about I had no right to do this, and what did I sell, and I had no right to do that. And I basically just blew them off, told them get the fuck out of the yard, whatever, and I went in the house. I told them I didn't want to hear that shit, and I went in the house. So they all left. Well, it went on. I figured it was over with. I went over and talked to the landlady. She didn't give a shit about that. She acted like she really didn't know what was going on. So I told the other sister-in-law to tell that sister-in-law that I was not her husband. Don't come over there trying to bitch at me and treat me like she treats her husbands. Uncle Jesse don't put up with that shit. Anyway, so a little while later, Zia's mom and grandma showed up. And as soon as they got out of the car, after I opened up the gate and they pulled in, as soon as they got out of the car, the neighbors cranked up the music. But before that happened, I forgot about the karaoke party. Shortly after that, the next day or two, next door, in one of the block houses that's unfinished in front of the shack next door, they started a karaoke party. And I'm talking about loud. It was so damn loud I couldn't hear my speaker over the music. So it rocked on all day, it rocked on all afternoon, and it rocked on all damn night. And they didn't have 2 minutes between songs for a break. I mean, it was song after song after song after song screaming into the microphone. That went on all day, that went on all night, that went on all the next day. And me and Zia walked over to the store, and I told Zia, or I told them, I said, look, they turned the music down to hear what I had to say. I said, look, y'all, I ain't had no damn sleep. I said, y'all need to tone it down over here, because you're making me a little crazy. And when Uncle Jesse gets a little crazy, he gets his ass on his shoulders. So I'd appreciate it if y'all turn it down. That's my way of being nice. And so we went on to the store and got what we got. It was still daylight, 5 or 6 o'clock in the afternoon, and they was rocking like hell. And so we come back to the house, and I told Zia, I said, baby, I can't take this shit all night again. I said, let's go get a hotel room. So we got on the bike and we took off, following Google Maps. Google, you're a piece of shit. Now, I'm venting right now. This sumbitch had us going around in circles, had us going over here, took us to the Death Motel. We almost got kidnapped. I felt like Zia said, oh, let's get out of here. And we took off. We both had the same feeling like they was fixing to kidnap us because they was trying to close us up in a damn steel room or a garage looking thing with a big steel door. And there was a room there with the door open inside the garage with 2 beds in it. It looked like Hotel from Hell. Wasn't even Hotel California. So we booked out of there, rode around trying to find another place, but we couldn't get anybody on the phone. So we rode back to the house and listened to the shit all night again. Well, after about 1 o'clock in the morning, it quieted down. I went to sleep. Well, at 6:30 the next morning, now mind you, I hadn't slept probably 30 plus hours at this point from them being so loud. And it was so loud in the house that we had to scream at one another, to talk to one another, me and Zia. They cranked that shit up at 6:30 in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, somewhere in there, woke me up. Well, when we got back home, they was rocking. I went and got me a few beers so I figured I'd drink a few beers and pass out and go to sleep. Well, I drank a few beers, they quieted down, I went to sleep. About 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe a little after 1. 6 o'clock in the morning, 5 or 6 hours later, they cranked that shit back up and woke me up. And when they did, I lost my fucking cool, people. I walked over there and I screamed at them to turn that damn shit down, that I was done, that 3 days of that shit was enough, and that I didn't give a flying what was going on, that it was going to be quiet or I was going to put my foot in somebody's ass. Well, it got quiet. I turned around and walked back to the house, which maybe I shouldn't have done that, but enough is enough. If you don't have respect for your neighbors or anybody around you, then you don't have respect for yourself or a damn thing. And I'm not going to live around that. I don't put up with it here, although the uncle across the street gets carried away with his damn boombox every once in a while. And I done told him a couple times. I was nice the first time. Next time I'm not going to be nice. But he's got the point. He's quieted down. You can hear a damn pin drop around here now. But I'm getting about fed up with it. You're going to respect the people around you, and you're damn sure going to give me respect, because I used to ride with the bikers in South Georgia, 2 different clubs. Now, I was never a member, but in 2 different clubs, I had real close buddies of mine that were members, and I hung out with them, I partied with them, I rode with them. They're all passed away. God bless their souls. Some of them was good men. A couple of them was snakes in the grass and would cut your throat, but I still consider them my friends. But anyway, James texted me and said, what'd you do, man? I said, I went over there and told him my mind, dude. I said, 3 days is enough. Well, everybody's giving me hell and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, what you got to do with it? I'm grown. Well, evidently his wife, it was her family, it was part of the landlord's family. Oh, it was a big another ordeal. I hurt somebody's damn feelings, And y'all ought to know, Uncle Jesse don't give a damn about hurting no damn body's feelings. If you can't take a joke, fuck you. But, because I'm not going to put up with no bullshit. I don't put out no bullshit. I don't give nobody no bullshit. I don't really say a whole hell of a lot to anybody. And I sure as hell ain't going to be disrespected and put up with no bullshit. And if I see you on the street, you better be nice. Because I don't want to fight. But the old man can throw down now, let me tell you. But anyway, let's calm it down and go back. So, James got his panties in a wad. Evidently, his wife was giving him hell. My wife's family had come over, Mom and Grandma, and as soon as they come over, they cranked that shit back up again. So, we couldn't even sit in the yard or in the house and talk to one another from the loud music. Now, Grandma was getting upset about it, and that's what really makes me mad about Uncle across the street, is he's an outsider like me. He's not a member of the family. He's married into the family like I am. The only problem is, he's a bullheaded SOB, and what he wants to do when he wants to do it, but damn everybody else's feelings in the family. And their houses are built, you know, like wall to wall. This wall's the next wall of the next house, and blah, blah, blah. Over here, we're not like that. Our houses are separated. Their houses seem to be built together. Now, how does Grandma deal with that loud music? I don't know. Grandpa didn't like it before he died. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. But, so, where was I at? So James was texting me, oh, you shouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah. I said, you know, I don't give a damn. You know, we're going to move anyway. I can't take it around here. My family come over to visit, and they turn that damn music back on. We can't even talk. I said, that's why I come here. It was supposed to be peaceful. It was supposed to be quiet. We were supposed to be able to do videos without rice pumps going on, tack, 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 out there. I'm surprised you can't hear one. They're shut down right now because the fields are flooded. You know, and if it ain't the rice fields, it's the uncle across the street with the loud-ass music. The family's moving into the house because they got jobs here. Zia's got 4 brothers. 2 of them got jobs here. They live here in the house. Me and Zia wanted privacy, and I wanted peace and quiet. That's why we moved there. Well, how did it work out? Not too good. So, James basically told me, don't, you know, because they was talking shit to my mother-in-law and my wife, and it pissed them off. And they told them exactly what was on their damn minds, you know, and evidently it didn't go over too well with the Chismas crowd. And so they had to run to James and give him hell about it, because evidently my mother-in-law and wife hurt their little feelings because they didn't like what they were saying. So James texted me and said, well, hey, you know, I'm catching all this hell and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, I don't know what your mother-in-law said. And she shouldn't have said that. And those people are some of my wife's closest friends and relatives and blah, you know. And don't talk to me anymore. I ought to read you the damn email, but I'm not. Don't contact us anymore. You know. And he was going to help us move, because he helped us move there. He's got a pickup truck. And I told him, offered to pay his gas and, you know, just move us back. What the hell? You know, ain't no skin off your ass. We ain't got much for the heaviest thing we had to move. So he said, good luck on your way back to Tarlac, and blocked me. So I was like, oh, man. Oh, yeah, that made up my mind. I called a truck. I told Zia's mom, contact somebody. I'll contact somebody. We'll get a truck here tomorrow, and we're back to Tarlac. So that's the story. That's what happened. And I try to be fair with everybody. I try to be good to everybody. But you're not going to keep me upset every day, 24 hours a day, like I'm living in a motherfucking disco. I'm not going to put up with it. I'll pack my shit and leave. After I come get on your ass about your stupid ass. Anyway, that's what happened. So, we're back in Tarlac. I done bought a bunch more supplies for the house. That's the story. So, y'all be good to one another out there. And God bless America. Good day.